clear cases for the all-new iPhone 17 Pro Max up next. So every new iPhone release season, this video for me is my most anticipated video because, as you may know, if you subscribe to my channel or if you watch my videos before, I love clear cases. It's probably my favorite category of cases for my new iPhones, and that's because it allows you to still see the design of the phone underneath. So I have quite a few to look at today. I think I have 8 in total. With a few surprises. There's a case that I get in the comments that people always ask, hey, why don't you look at this case? So this year I did. Stick around for the end to see which one that is. And let's get started because I really want to try these clear cases on my phone. So let's start with the one I have on my phone because I took a look at this in a previous video. It is the Apple clear case. And as I mentioned in my previous video when I was looking at Apple cases, this case, the Apple clear case, is perfect for this silver phone because it looks like the silver phone without a case. Now, as I also mentioned in that video, if you have a cosmic orange or the deep dark blue that they have, this is probably not the case that you want. So same Apple quality. This case is made out of polycarbonate PC, so that means it'll never yellow. I have never had an Apple case yellow, and I get these every year for years. So if you want a clear case that won't yellow and you have a silver phone or an iPhone and you don't mind the large white color block on the back, get this clear case. Let's take a closer look at Apple's clear case this year. And as I mentioned, there's a large color block, and that's because they wanted to keep the Apple logo centered on this color block and not centered on the phone, because the MagSafe is still in the general area, but if there was a MagSafe ring, it would run across the logo, and we don't want to block the Apple logo or have anything near it. I'm pretty sure they have clear space recommendations for their logo, and they're following those. It also has a rather large and protective camera bezel, or should I say plateau bezel. And that should keep your cameras well protected when you place your phone on its back. It has the same clear buttons, side button, covered camera control button here, which works really well. And I think it should be mentioned that if you've had issues with the clear case in the past from Apple, thinking that the buttons were hard to depress, I never really had that issue, but I could see why people would have that issue. This year they're really clicky. So if you've always wanted to try an Apple clear case but the buttons were holding you back, I say give it a try this year because, again, these are really, really clicky. So maybe Apple listen to that feedback. Open bottom for ports and speakers. That'll give you good access to that USB-C port, and nice general lip or bezel around the screen. So of course your phone will be protected if you place, or your screen will be protected if you place your phone face down. So overall, I really like this clear case from Apple. I like the overall aesthetics, and I think this is a good case, especially if you have the silver. If you have cosmic orange and the deep blue, again, your mileage may vary. So let's go ahead and check out the next one. I have to put this all the way at the edge because we have a lot to look at. So next up, this is a really inexpensive case, but I thought it was kind of cool because it just covered really the top and the bottom places where your phone might drop or hit, and it was a really thin case. I would call something like this a throwaway case. You know, something you try and use, and once it gets damaged, you toss it, get a new one. But I thought it looked interesting, the design anyway, and it was a smoky gray, and I originally wanted a black, space black phone, so maybe this will help it get that kind of darker appearance. Keychain, lanyard, place where you can loop that through here. So this is the case, very minimal. Let's go and put the phone in there so we see how it looks. I'm really interested to see how this looks in here. And there it is on the phone. And I gotta say, you know, not bad. It does add a darker sheen. It has a black MagSafe ring. And I really like the feel of this because it feels like I'm holding the bare phone, because I pretty much am. The sides are unprotected. So that's something to keep in mind. But the areas that usually drop or make impact on drops are protected. The corners, the front and the top and the bottom. It gives you pretty good protection. Look at that camera bezel, or again, plateau bezel. I'm gonna have to remind myself to keep saying plateau bezel, but there's enough lip there that it'll keep your cameras protected when you place your phone face down. And I do like the fact that I can feel my phone through this. It's really a minimal case, so I would warn that it will probably give you protections from drops and impacts of the corner, but if you're worried about something abrasive scratching your phone, especially if you have a colored phone, then maybe you want to think twice about this case. But overall, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool aesthetic. Openings for ports and speakers. Sides are open, so you have access to all the buttons, including the bare camera control button. And there is a lip because it helps keep the phone on. But I will say it is about even. I don't know if the camera can capture that, but it is about even with my screen protector, my tempered glass screen protector. So if I place this on its screen, the screen protector will touch the surface you're placing on. But overall, I think that looks pretty good. I think it feels pretty good in hand. My only concern would be the protection of the sides. I try not to put anything too abrasive in my pockets along with my phone. My phone's usually in my pockets by themselves, but you never know. So interesting case concept. It might really work well for some who don't quite want to go bare iPhone, but do want a little bit of protection. Let's check the next one. So next up, we have Ringke, and I always take a look at Ringke cases. I like Ringke cases because the clear cases are usually pretty minimal. And this is the Fusion iPhone Pro Max 2025 matte clear, and I do like the matte because the finish of the back of the iPhone itself is matte. And there is the Ringke, and that's a clean, clear case. I really do like that matte black protection on the camera plateau, as you can see. So nothing's gonna scratch that, so it might be a good case. If you are worried about your camera plateau getting scratched on the edges, if you have a colored phone, this might be a good clear case for you. There isn't any MagSafe ring, but pass-through charging probably works. But I know there are those of you who hate the MagSafe ring, so this is your case right here. Looks really great. It will protect your phone from moderate drops, and you have access to all the buttons. Buttons are clicky. The one thing about this one that I will mention is it has a window for the camera control button instead of a capacitive button. That's preference. I personally like the covered button, but if you don't mind, then this is an open window here. They actually have mounting places here on each side for the cross body strap if you have one of those, openings for ports and speakers. Minimal branding that I can see here. Let's put it down. It says Ringke right there, and that is great because they keep it on the side of the phone and really inconspicuous, and I do like that. So again, protection for the cameras. There is a raised lip along the top and the bottom, so protection when you place your phone face down. So overall, this is a really nice clean aesthetic from Ringke, and one that I like, and Ringke usually does come through with very nice clear cases, which is why I look at them just about every year. Another thing to note, the back does feel like a harder polycarbonate. The protection around the plateau and around the sides is more flexible, so I believe that is TPU. Manufacturers have been getting better with TPU and keeping them from yellowing, but in my experience, over time, they'll likely yellow. But these cases are so inexpensive that if they do start to yellow, you can discard one and get a brand new crispy one. Nice looking clear case. Let's check the next one. And next up we have the tried and true Spigen. And this is their Ultra Hybrid, and it has MagSafe. And this one is in Frost White. Again, I like the Frost matte white or matte clear back. And here is the Spigen polycarbonate back, TPU sides, and TPU for the plateau. Let's go put the phone in here. And that is another clean case. I have to give it to Spigen. They have been around for quite a while and they make really nice clear cases. And this is another nice clear case, the Hybrid, which they make every year. So there are raised edges on the corners, and that's to protect the back of the case. You have, again, that all around camera plateau protection there, and there is a slight bevel here. There is a bevel around the top so that when you do place your phone on its back, not only is the back protected, the case is protected as well. You have some clicky clear buttons here. Very nice, they are clicky. Minimal branding, Spigen there on the side, love that. Minimal branding is better. You have little air pockets on each corner to provide moderate drop protection, openings for ports and speakers. There is a lanyard hole here, so you can place a lanyard. Not a matching one on the other side, so you can't use this with the crossbody strap, but you can hook up a lanyard or a charm or whatever it is that you want on this phone. Nice frosted texture on the back, and that really matches the phone well and shows off the phone really, really well. I like this case. And nice generous lip around the screen so it protects your phone or your phone screen when your phone is face down. Looks like the camera control button is covered. There's a thin bit of TPU there. I don't know how well that will work. Let's see. Seems to work well, actually. The feel isn't as nice. It doesn't glide there. It's kind of grabby, but it works. It's functional for sure. Cool. It's a good looking case from Spigen. Let's check the next one. And next up we have TORRAS. And again, TORRAS is another mainstay. I always try to look at the TORRAS clear cases every year. And this is the TORRAS Slim-Fit mag for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And that is a minimal clear case from TORRAS. And you know, it's polycarbonate, so PC. Another PC thin case on the market. This is actually, the material on here is actually thinner than what's on the Apple case. So if you want a minimal clear case that won't yellow, since it's polycarbonate, then this TORRAS is probably the case you're looking for. I really like these minimal clear cases. Let's put the phone in there. Yes, hard polycarbonate shell. There is the back of the phone. As you can see, the issue with putting the MagSafe ring where it belongs is, as you can see there, it does cover the Apple logo, which some won't mind, some will. Apple definitely minded. That's why they put the big color block on the back. I don't think it's too bad. So MagSafe ring. Nice generous bezel around that camera plateau so your cameras are well protected when you place your phone on its back. Nice clicky buttons, yes. Minimal TORRAS logo. Thank you guys for doing minimal branding on your cases. Openings for ports and speakers. Side button, and this one does have an opening for the camera control button, so you are touching that bare camera control button and it's not protected. For a thin case, I think I could forgive that because you do want the thinnest case you can get on there. And this is, I will say, overall, I surprisingly like this case. It's a nice thin case. And it'll show off your phone. Especially if it's silver, because if you do have, say, a cosmic orange or something, that white MagSafe ring will be there. But if you prefer the MagSafe ring, then that won't bother you at all. Overall, I think that is a really good looking clear case, and by I mean good looking clear case is it gets out of the way so you can really still enjoy the design of your iPhone. Cool. Let's check the next one. Next up is Magic John, and this is a clear case from the maker of probably one of my favorite tempered glass screen protectors, which I actually happen to have on this phone. If you're wondering what screen protector I have, it is a Magic John screen protector, and I'll actually take a look at this in a separate video. And this is their clear case, and they call it the Popcam stand case, stand plus selfie 2-in-1 for Apple cell phone series. And that is the Magic John. Let's go ahead and put the phone in there. And there is the Magic John clear case on the iPhone. It has protection for the camera plateau, which is made out of metal and which actually will double as a stand. The opening is covered, so your cameras are protected, though I might caution against keeping that closed when you're taking photos, just because you might get glare or something else. And they are touting this as their kind of selfie mode, so that you can hold your phone by that, and there's your, you can do selfie mode from here. So there's where you hold your phone by the protection on the bezel, but it also doubles obviously as a stand, and you get different degrees of how you can place this. So I'll probably use it more as a stand than a selfie holder. That seems kind of gimmicky to me, but I mean, hey, it works. Nice clicky buttons. Although I might say they're a little bit more difficult to press compared to the others, including the Apple. There are openings for ports and speakers on the back. Again, your cameras are well protected with this and will lay flat on its back when you place your phone on its back. There is a lip on the front, and it is just slightly, I can feel it, it is just slightly higher than the Magic John screen protector. Slightly, like a hair, paper thin. Less than paper thin, but it is slightly raised. It is almost even. So if there's any debris on the table, then your screen protector, if you have a screen protector, will probably come in contact with it. If you don't have a screen protector, then your screen should have just a sliver of protection. Again, minimal branding, Magic John right there, and this one does have a covered camera control button, which I prefer. So overall, I think that is a kind of unique take on a clear case. I think it looks pretty good. Nice offering from Magic John, who makes, again, great screen protectors. Let's move on. And next we have the Ghost case from dbrand. And I know there are a lot of rabid dbrand fans out there. Overall, I think dbrand has good products, but they also have quite a few missteps with those products. I don't know if they ever put them through testing. Maybe they should think about putting them through some testing before they release them. But the very first iteration of this Ghost case 1.0, was a massive failure. Not that the case design wasn't great, but the thing scratched out of the box. I did a review on the Ghost case 1.0 for my 15 Pro Max, and as I was reviewing it, scratches appeared. So that's how bad that case was. So this is Ghost 2.0, which they improved. So lifetime no yellow guarantee, and that's because the clear parts are made of polycarbonate and the rest is a black bumper. So it's not totally clear because there is a black bumper around this and a black MagSafe ring. But they do tout it as the zero yellowing clear case. That's not so much of a claim. Simply just use the right materials like Apple did, like TORRAS did, and I believe this is polycarbonate, just like the Magic John did. And zero yellowing, scratch resistant, which the first one wasn't. Drop protection, super thin, strong magnets, and camera control. So it has a covered camera control button, which I do like. So let's go ahead and open this up. And there is the D-brand Ghost case on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Cool looking design. Black MagSafe ring, and they kept the Apple logo exposed so you can still see it through there. Some nice polycarbonate protection on the back to keep your camera plateau well protected. There is a black bumper around this, and it is textured. That is a nice texture, nice grippy feel. And there you have the side button, and the camera control button is covered, and it does work. It is touch, capacitive touch. That's actually kind of cool because it just looks like a regular covering that matches the bumpers. Openings for ports and speakers, a little extra added material on the corners to protect your phone from corner drops. And all the buttons, are really clicky. Action button and volume buttons. And there is a lip around the screen, but it is slightly higher. I can feel it. It is slightly higher than my screen protector. So if you don't have a screen protector, it should keep your screen protected when you place your phone on its screen or front down. So slightly raised. Almost even, but I can tell it is slightly raised over that screen, tempered glass screen protector. So overall, I think that's a good looking clear case. So I did read on Reddit that some people are having issues with the side button coming apart. Right now this seems to be fine, and we'll see how it lasts through usage. But it's on there, doesn't feel like it's coming loose. But just be aware of that some people are having those issues. You can return it, D-brand will replace it if you do have that issue. Overall, nice design from D-brand. But we'll see how that scratch resistant coating works out. Because again, Ghost Case 1.0 wasn't the best, but hopefully this one works better. On to the last one. So the last case is a case that I always get comments and suggestions to look at for just about every clear case video I do for the new iPhones every year. A lot of commenters, I guess, love this brand, and they always ask me to take a look at it, and this is going to be the first year I'm going to take a look at it because these cases really aren't cheap, and that is the mouse case. And this is a clear case from Mouse. It is the iPhone 25 Pro Max Clarity MS Compact Clear. And mouse cases are usually touted for having ultimate protection. And it looks like they just started this new greener packaging, so I was going to mention that packaging is really pretty minimal. But kudos to them for going green. So let's go ahead and open this up. Live without limits. There's a mouse in your house. Okay. They have a warranty card. There is the clear case from Mouse on the iPhone, the Clarity clear case, although not totally clear because they do have these black accents around the bumper and around the bezel. And speaking of the bezel or the camera plateau, it is well protected. That is some good sturdy material on there, so it'll keep your cameras protected when you place your phone on its back. Black MagSafe ring. Minimal branding. It does say Mouse right there in the back, but it's on the clear case itself. I probably would have preferred it though if they would have put it on the side somewhere like some of the other manufacturers, so that we have a clear back, but that's not too bad. The sides are a more durable material. The buttons are very, very clicky. Very clicky. I do like the feel of the buttons. Openings for port and speakers. The camera button, camera control button is covered, which I like. I prefer the covered button. And let's see. And yep, that capacitive button works as it should. Nice front lip on the front of the case. The top and bottom is raised a bit more, so that will definitely keep your screen and your screen protector well protected. Overall, a nice aesthetic, and the case does feel a bit more substantial and robust, so this should keep my phone well protected. Probably use this when I go on my outdoor adventures. But I think that's a good looking case, and I do feel confident that it would protect my phone really well. So these are all the clear cases I looked at today for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I think if you like clear cases like me, there is something in here for you. We took a look at my perennial favorite, the Apple clear case made of polycarbonate and it'll never yellow. A new minimal design, which if you don't want to go quite bare phone, this might be the one to take a look at. We had three mainstays, Ringke, Spigen, and TORRAS. One with a clear back, so if you hate MagSafe rings, take a look at this Ringke. The TORRAS and the Magic John, along with the Ghost case and Mouse Clarity case, are all polycarbonate, so you won't have to worry about those yellowing. And I do like the robustness of probably one of the more requested cases I take a look at, this mouse case. So I'm looking forward to using all of these. I really can't pick out a favorite. There is a use case for each case on this table, and a case in every price range. So whether you wanted the more robust protection from a mouse case to something maybe more minimal, I think there is definitely a clear case here for you. So let me know in the comments below if you think you found your clear case in this group, or if you have another favorite. I'd like to know that as well. And that's going to do it for this video. So if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and tapping the bell to get notified when I post new content. And that'll wrap it up for this one. So until the next one, please take care and be safe out there.